Okay, hi everyone. Before I go out to sleep, because this is actually really late right now, and it's almost it's actually basically 1 a.m. So, um, I don't really have anything tomorrow. This is just like a kind of like what I always call the lull before the storm, because there's something that we process some time back about my life probably undergoing some changes, and I'm still in the process of making those adjustments. And but before I make those adjustments, and like things like getting onto a new job and work and everything, part of it actually involves things like just rearranging my schedule, and the lull before the storm. So it's not a real bad storm anyway, so just to let y'all know. So but I wanted to just talk a little bit more about this, and just before for a while before I go off to sleep. And this is actually something concerning the healing from narcissistic abuse, because I'm actually going to see a counselor tomorrow. He was the one who actually recommended a psychologist, a psychotherapist, to me for EMDR, and so he wanted to also follow up with me after so long, because he hasn't really been seeing me much. I think, when was the last time he saw me? I think it was like last year, or I think it was last year, yeah. And sometime late last year, before I went off for the holiday, or the trip to not even holiday, the vacation to Georgia and Armenia. Okay, so the thing is this. Okay, I want to talk a little bit more about this thing about healing from PTSD and narcissistic abuse, and how what you should do. Actually, the one thing that I've always been talking about is actually, I know that I've been saying some things which might be a bit counterintuitive to some people. Okay, like whole thing about unsubscribing from narcissistic abuse channels. And anyway, YouTube actually kind of limited my the features, and the thing is on my channel. Not that I really care anyway, but I realize this one thing, that when you are into healing and recovery, you won't actually focus on things that actually keep you in a state where you are not recovering. So that was what I meant by actually unsubscribing from those channels that that tell you to stay on as a victim and everything. And on top of that, okay, one thing that we need to also take note of is that when as you heal, um, it's not just the boundaries that you have becoming stronger, but the very fact that because you don't want to be triggered again. Okay, the people that you stick around with, even when friends or whatever, or family, and just anyone who actually is in your circle socially, that you will not actually tolerate those people, okay, gaslighting you, scapegoating you, or even blaming you for what you go through. Okay, and you'll be very selective of your social circle, and that indirectly plays into your friendships and those who are in your inner circle. And it's just part of the whole process, and indirectly you don't have to end up blaming anyone, but you just realize, because the thing is this, we say yes, it's when someone is wishing you bad things, then obviously the person doesn't have good intentions. But even if someone uh, for someone whom you can't share like very personal or intimate positive news with, is also someone whom you don't want to actually allow near you. And they are such friends, because for them, when you are unrecovered, okay, unhealed, and when you are just in that older version of yourself, it keeps them happy in a way, in a sense that they can just continue having you in that kind of like a little bit of the corner, which is easier for them to manipulate, or to gaslight you, or to control you, to make you fit into that little box. Okay, and as they always say, don't be afraid to shove it up their derriere. Okay, so anyway, I'm off now, so I hope everyone has a good one. And just remember this: when you recover, as you recover, the people in the past that you used to hang around with might not always end up becoming part of your circle. In fact, you might actually become more and more distant from them. It's a very normal thing. It's okay, perfectly, very perfectly normal. You might really discover some old time friends too, or you might just realize that things that you expected were not always the same. Okay, and I realized this because for example, I think in the period from the end of 2022 through 2023, some period, I mean sometime in that period, and then all into like maybe the beginning of this year or the end of last year, there was one friend whom I actually I probably talk a little bit about this from back from Calgary, whom I kind of reestablished or managed to reestablish contact with. But I realized that he really wasn't really the kind of person that I would have been able to sort of like I can't share anything. It's like you just end up like gaslighting me and doing stuff and trolling me. And I realized that this was a kind of similar experience back from my university days after like my undergraduate. There's one particular friend. He keeps on bugging people by pushing their buttons and everything. That Canadian friend was doing the same thing, and then I was realizing, you know what? Maybe two of them are different people that focus. I mean, because the first one, that first friend back from undergrad days was really just a disgusting person with no morals. Like he was very rich, but he keeps on bugging people and hitting them when they are down, giving them very bad suggestions like, oh, why don't you join this? Why don't you join that? It's not Singapore. It's not like this but you can still do it. And yeah. I mean, he was trying to give me bad advice intentionally to try to ridicule me. That was the first friend, and then that friend in Canada was giving me making me accusations which are false. Okay, and you don't have to care about those people. As you level up, as you grow as a person. Okay, anyway, I'm off now. I've just been talking a little bit more than I usually do, but it's a very short one. But okay, have a good one, everyone. Okay, bye bye.